would like to welcome Mr. Marouan El Khattabi, which is the GS in EMA Middle East Director, to the stage. And Marouan will introduce his own panelists. Please welcome Marouan, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for waiting for us for this last panel of the day before lunchtime. So it's a difficult time, but thank you. Thank you for being here. It's a very interesting panel, very interesting topic, and we have very good representative from public and private companies. I'll start with Mr. Adel Aboujaid from Jacobs. Thank you, Adel. Thank you. Please. And the next one is Engineer Faisal Al-Wahai from SWPC. Shukran, Adel. Shukran, Faisal. From Aqualia, Mr. Javier Diaz. Thank you. And from Metito Utilities, Ms. Hadiba Amin. So, public-private partnership can be a mechanism, among others, that countries are using to fund much-needed investment and bring technology and efficiency that can improve the performance and financial sustainability of the water sector. Private investors and providers are increasingly local, regional, but also international, increasing competition and bringing down prices. The water industry P3 model provides advantage for both parties. This PPP infrastructure is not something new. It's something that has been developed in several countries, several sectors, but recently become more common in water sector for some very good reasons. Aligned goals, financial flexibility, and optimizing risk management have all helped the P3 model rise in popularity across the planet. I would like to give the word to distinguished panelists. First, please introduce yourself, your organization, and the experience of your company in the PPP structures. Please, Mr. Adel.
Good day, everyone. My name is Adel Aboujaid. I'm the Global Director for Water Conveyance and Storage within Jacobs. I've been with the company for 6 years. And so Jacobs is quite active in the consulting business. And so we have some wide experience with different companies in the Middle East. Personally, I've been involved in a couple of PPP projects. Thank you.
Thank you. You're Faisal.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I am Faisal Wahib, the Vice President of Technical Planning at the Saudi Water Partnership Company. It's a pleasure to be part of this panel discussions on the vital role, really, of the public-private partnership and its role on for the water resources at the MENA region. Saudi Water Partnership Company is actually at the forefront of this transformation in Saudi Arabia. We manage a portfolio of over 50 mega programs, at which 20 projects are for the desalination plants. Our innovative public-private partnership actually model brings in private sector expertise and investments. We act actually within the company as a principal buyer for all the water sources, starting from the desalination, purification, and water treatment and reuse. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Javier.
Hi, everyone. This is Javier Diaz. I am the country director for Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and Bahrain from Aqualia. Aqualia, which is a well-known operator in the water sector. We are the #1 in Spain and among the top 10 worldwide. We're working as a developer, as an investor, and as an operator. And we control the full cycle from the STP side, for the desalination, from the source, on the distribution. And we are actively in the Middle East, in different countries like Saudi Arabia, Emirates, Qatar, and the MENA region as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Adiba.
Good day, everyone. My name is Adiba Amin. I'm representing Mitito Utilities. I'm a director for business development. Most probably, many of you know that Mitito Utilities were founded more than 60 years ago in GCC area, in GCC region. So we started as EPC, but around 20 years ago, we started our PPP story. So right now, we are present in many countries. Apart from GCC area, we have PPP projects developed in Rwanda, Kigali, Serbia, China. We are developing first project in Central Asia, Namangan, and we have a huge pipeline going further.
Thank you. Thank you. Continuing with Engineer Faisal, as you're representing the public sector in this panel, and as you mentioned it, SWPC is doing a big effort on transforming the PPP model in Saudi Arabia, not only desalination, but also in sewage, in transmission network, mega projects. I'd like to know if you can please explain how does SWPC's focus on local capacity building benefit the Saudi Arabian economy?
Yes, well, actually, we believe in transparent and inclusive engagement. We initiated 2 programs, the developer qualification program and the local contractor incentive programs. Actually, the main objective of those 2 programs is to develop the bidders and prepare them for the pre-qualification processes, making it easier for them to bid in the company's future projects. It helps us a lot really in the development of the potential bidders. Adding to that, with the view of the local capacities, we're looking into it as like a fundamental pillars for the Saudi's companies and the engineers as well. Okay, that with that it can help to develop and make them ready for the future projects within the company. The commitment manifested on this for the local capacities is to develop engineers in Saudi that it can help them in gaining the knowledge and also develop the countries using it at the end.
Indeed, it's a very important added value from the country. Continuing with the risk management and allocation, very critical points. I would like to continue with you, Mr. Javier, because I know that Aqualia in the PPP model, you're not only a developer, but you're also an operator and an EPC contractor. So what are the common risks associated with PPPs and how they can manage it effectively with a special attention to the role of EPC contractors?
We believe in the balance inside the PPP. And I want to open a debate, maybe it's not now the right question, about the meaning of PPP.
Please.
But there is the word partnership. There is the word private and there is the word public. So that means, and maybe I will go or I will run away from your question, but I think it's going to be very
It's very important.
Instead of having frozen food, we'll have raw meat, tasty. What I want to express here, you need to have the partnership. The partnership is the key. So the risks are first to have a correct PPP. You need to have the right partnership. And the right partnership is when both parties, the public and the private, they feel comfortable. And to feel comfortable means to know that there are risks and both will share those risks. And both know which are the risks they're going to share. Not to have hidden risk or risk that you believe will never come. You close your eyes and the year 10 coming and said, we said will not come. What we do now? Then the partnership start to shake. Okay? So very important to have a good analysis, especially on the bidding stage. Even earlier, and very healthy to have a deep involvement. I believe the Australian model, where you have an early invitation and you are deeply getting involved on the project and the evolution of the project, is the key. I'm not saying that the Australians they are doing better, but I believe that something that starts like that is going to help to avoid further issues after that during the PPP. And now coming a little bit to your question. For example, with the EPC contractor, if we go only for the price as the key measurement for the awarding, the one who will suffer, number one, is the EPC contractor. And this is for sure.
Agree. Yeah.
And the EPC contractor will not run away from his responsibility to finish the work. He will finish. But what about the quality? Before the session before, we're talking about the quality of the water. You can produce 10% more, but with which quality? This is, I think, what we could talk about today a little bit on the PPP.
Thank you very much. No, I'm deeply, and maybe I can say sadly, agree with you. Regarding implementation challenges, there are some common challenges faced in implementing PPPs. We have seen that some countries are trying to implement the PPP model, and some of them, they are struggling. They have a big program, but the projects are moving very slow. So I would like to ask you, Mr. Adel, what is your point of view and could be a recommendation to that?
On the response time, mainly of the project, how it can develop. Okay, back to the risk, exactly. So I don't want to give an example, but I'm aware of a project where it took years to develop because, you know, the market is not ready to take that risk. Okay, so in fact, again, back to what Javier just explained, that again, there should be some consultation between the public and the private to see where's the risk, which risk eventually to exclude, and how to mitigate to come back to the partnership idea. Okay, so definitely, and whenever this risk is forced on one of the parties, we cannot get to a yes, to a win-win situation. So finally, to get to a shake hand at the end of the day, it has to be win-win to both parties. And whenever we put all the elements on the table, identify how we can share the risk, clarify the risk, and so on, I think this is where you can, you know, accelerate. Construction, technical, and so on, everyone is, you know, ready. And now in the region, I think we are breaking all records in terms of you know, delivering the projects. But sometimes you have some external elements that have to be taken out of the equation to accelerate the process.
Thank you, thank you. Engineer Faisal, if you may add something about this, because in Saudi Arabia, it seems like everything was easy, smooth, and very fast. What is the secret and what's recommendation you can give to maybe other countries in the MENA area that trying to, let's say, copy the Saudi model?
Within the Saudi Water Partnership Company, we involve the developers at the early stages of the feasibility studies to learn more about the challenges that they could face and what is the mitigation that could help really to support the both win-to-win cases, okay? The PPP is actually, and their approach help us really to find out really the real cause, to just try to put our fingers on the real cause and get a solution out of it that it can best for the government and the public and the private sectors as well. That engagement, early engagement, really help us really put a clear path forward, a way forward with the proper solutions that it could help achieving a best fit to both the public and the private.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you. Ms. Adiba, we know that Metito Utilities, as you mentioned at the start, as EPC contractor, then you moved to develop, to finance projects. I would like to, if you can share with us the lesson learned in the PPP experience, and not only here in Middle East, you have projects in other parts of the world. So please, if you can explain.
Yes, of course. As you mentioned, we moved from EPC to PPP, and PPP is a bit different than EPC model. And first of all, what I want to mention that in PPP, as Javier mentioned earlier, it's partnership between government and private sector, right? And you need to be ready that things doesn't happen fast with the government, unfortunately. Even though when there is a perfect expertise inside, it takes time for the government to change this or that law or regulation that is required at some point during the PPP deals. And I didn't see that PPP deals happens fast until now, especially when you do it first time in the country. And Metito had so many experience. By the way, right now in Uzbekistan, we are developing this first PPP in ex-USSR territory. So you can imagine how many open questions we are solving during this time. But the most important is that to make sure that there is a strong government will. If the government will is there, then PPP will happen. The market will open. But it means once you spend so much time developing first project, there will be some time to renegotiate the tariff. And I'm returning back to EPC that was mentioned by Javier again, because it's about the price, it's about the tariff, and time. Time is money. So, yeah, these are the major lessons, I would say, learned. But apart from that, I would also say that capacity building is super important. And it's important for the governments everywhere in the world to invest into trainings, professionals inside the government, to somehow accelerate this process, speed up the process, and to help themselves. And the last one, by the way, I would also advise the governments everywhere to start engaging with the private sector earlier. In the end, quite often what I see is that government is very close with international banks, organizations. They are discussing a lot of things with the organizations like World Bank, but it's a bit different angle. When it comes to developing the project, the risks must be discussed with the private sector, with the private companies. So I'd say this is the major lessons that we learned.
I appreciate your support, and you want to add something, yeah?
Well, to follow up, I think it's even more easy for the audience. Let's don't forget something. In the PPP, there is always two main actors that cannot be one without the other. One is bringing the source, of the demand, which is the government side of the agency, which is not able or don't have the skills or the technology or the know-how to make happen the plant, the STP, whatever, to be able to deliver the service of the raw bag of people they're bringing with them. So they both met somewhere, and this is the point where many people believe that a PPP is just to finance something. No, the private sector is not coming to finance. And people must know that the PPP is more expensive than a standard EPC. What you are providing is a service, and you're providing the state-of-the-art technology at this time. The most this period to close the PPP or to perform the EPC and to start operation, the more time you spend there, the more you get behind on the technology side. So you need to be fast enough, as we said before, to be able to this to happen. How many plants that have been 10 years and when start the COD, already they have lost 1 or 2 layers of technology in different domains, okay? So this is also a very interesting debate. The private sector is not here to finance. The public sector is not also going just to give people. Both they need to understand. So the private need to have the warranties for the bonds, for the payments from the public, which is the one who really need to give the service, because his population is under them. Okay? So I think there is a lot of ground for debate around that.
Correct. Agree. Before we continue with the next question, I would like, I'm not sure, Majid, if the quiz, I would like to make a very simple exercise with the panelists. There is, let's say, a couple of key points in a PPP project. We have the WPA, the Water Purchase Agreement, to be signed between the parties. The bankability of the project, the advisors are very important, the legal, the financial, the technical. The sovereign warranty to be provided to the developer. As we mentioned, the EPC contractor, the 1M contractor, the lenders to finance, the regulatory framework, the project preparation during tender stage and also before, and an appropriate risk allocation. So I would like to ask you, they are all very key points, very interesting, but in your opinion, what should be the 3 main points to focus to make a PPP successful? If we can start with you, Engineer Adel.
You know, okay, I go back to the kitchen. You know, in fact, to have a good, product, you have to have all the ingredients. If you take one of the ingredients out of the, your recipe, it doesn't work. So every single element at different scales is important in getting to wherever we need to get. So, and as a consultant, I don't see that the consultant is anywhere here.
Well, advisors, yeah. Can we include a consultant and advisor for sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Engineer Faisal.
Yes, I sort of agree with my colleague. Every piece of that, it's like a puzzle that it has its own risks and it needs to be looked into and very detailed. The ABC contractor, he's the main player for that game. But the lenders, without the funds, without the money from the banking, it didn't make it much, okay? Yeah. So it's all a combination of that.
We are not saying that if we select 3, the other 7 are not important. Just in your opinion, everyone here in the audience maybe has a different opinion. What would be the 3 key parts?
I believe the main part of that is the main part of that is the first is the scope. I mean, within Saudi Aramco, I mean within my company, we have some sort of complex. It's not. Sorry. We have some complex projects that require more clarities on this scope of work. And I will say that the EPC contractor, I can choose the more player for that.
Okay, okay. Javier?
Well, if I have to choose three, I will go straight to the project preparation. The early project preparation is key, but very early preparation. Okay?
Yeah.
Bankability is a must. I mean, not bankable or projects that are forced. Like you have a foot size 45, and you buy a shoe 42, you will put it the first day. After you will have no more shoes, and your feet will be damaged for a few days. So don't try to force unbankable projects. And the sovereign warranty. I mean, we can spend hours talking about EPC contractor, O&M, WPA, but if there is not this support, which is the umbrella, to attract the lenders, I mean, most of the time, and we start to make financial models and difficult engineering, but not the technical one, the finance engineering, to be able to fit something which has no sovereign warranty. Most of the time, at the end, there is a failure. So let's concentrate on those 3 points, then the other will come. Because if you have a nice sovereign warranty, the project bankable, and a good early study, you will have the best EPC contractor.
Correct. Agree. Ms. Adiba.
Yeah. Adding to what was already mentioned, I would say, again, I'm repeating myself, but still, number one, I would say government will, together with the support to the private sector, with speaking about government guarantees and sharing the risks with the private partner. Number two, I'm going to say again, capacity building on the government side. And number three, I see that it's very important to have transparent, easy procurement process.
Okay, thank you. Segurado, you would like to participate?
I see that there is a Green Things advisor over there, Adel. And we've been speaking all the day about innovations and new ideas, sustainability. Being an advisor myself and chairman, CEO of a consulting company, can I ask the panels why there is, and forgive me for the direct question, always this copy-paste of the technical specifications? Why? I mean, we are reading now an RFP for a desalination plant. Yes, still the same spelling mistake that the technical specification that they did 20 years ago for the first RO plant in Taweera. And we are talking about sustainability, then the technical advisors sometimes put design operation up to 100 milligram per liter of total suspended solid. What is the sense of this? And why are not public corporations putting a little bit more attention on the selection of the advisors so that, I mean, the right policy can be flown down and this technical specification can be somehow be more fit for purposes? And forgive me for my
thank you.
Controversial.
No, you should appreciate. Thank you for your response, everyone. The next question is related something that we are facing lately in the last, let's say, tenders in the area. We have seen in the first IWPs tendered by SWPC or by OPWP or Adwea, now named EUEC, there was a lot of bidders, a lot of interested companies, but recently we are facing like there is only one or maybe two proposals submitted, and I would like to ask you, as per your experience, what we can do to increase the participation and to have more bidders. And what mistake we are doing right now in order to have like 1 or 2 bidders?
I think now what I see the scale of the projects getting bigger and bigger, so in fact it's difficult to gather all the.
So maybe reduce the size?
You cannot reduce. When you look at the major conveyance systems or the scale of the desalination projects which are on the market, I think there are some hesitation because however, the majority of the contracts that are floated get to a final agreement. So let's not look at the empty part of the glass. Let's look at the half full, okay? And there is a very good model, I think, already mature, that it's getting repeated. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. However, there is something, working well, I think, from my perspective. I don't know. I'll see how the
Thank you.
Contractors would look at it.
Thank you. Engineer Faisal.
Yeah. Also from the client side of it, not the contractor, I believe the number, the explosion number of projects, of a mega projects coming at once in a short period of time, it's contribute to that. The bidders' capabilities, the financial that they are looking for from the lenders. It's make really that bottleneck on the number of bidders and also their willingness to take care of doing that.
Okay. Javier?
Well, we also need to be aware that the market worldwide in the water sector is booming. I mean, there is a lot of scarcity. So, except for very local companies like Aqualia, but we are worldwide, there is a demand everywhere. So, we need to be aware that behind any proposal of a full BOT project, especially on desalination, there is a lot of hours, there is a lot of timing behind, and there is a lot of cost. Okay, we're talking about $1 million or more to prepare a full tender, a good quality one.
Correct.
So there is money, and there is a lot of resources that you need to spend. So also this, what company do is, you go where you have the most IRR or you have the less competition, okay? In Saudi Arabia, the case where we are based is that it was a big escalation of prices down. So for sure, the IRR is going down. So when you analyze this on the tender committees, it's like all the companies we have, we start to choose. So they should be from the local authorities, the proposals could be standardized with minimum IRR, with collaboration with them for the tender, so we can share also the cost of elaborating the tender. This will invite companies to come and not to be looking outside.
Thank you. Ms. Adiba.
Yeah. I can add, yes, of course, it's the question of resources. And if we look at from inside, every company has several bids going on at the same time. And we need to prioritize, and we need to choose effectively, because at the end, we don't want to end up going and spending, putting millions here and there, and end of the year with nothing. So, of course, we classify where we have more chances. And another question is the question of qualification as well. When there is a huge project, of course, there will not be many participants. So, yeah, I think this is the major points. And IRR, of course, IRR is the most important for us.
Thank you, thank you. No, I agree. It's happened to our company, same. We are not afraid about competition. We love competition, and we're not afraid about to have big names or small names. It's okay for us, but at the end, you need to select and you need to prioritize which are your preferences and which project you have maybe more chance to be competitive. I think we are. I still have several questions, but I'm not sure if someone from the audience has any that can bring some other point of view. Yeah, please. I don't know if you have microphone there.
Thank you. My name is Siamak Sarvos. I'm from Z Prime. Question to you, sir. We've got R&D projects with you over in Spain, kind of very innovative projects
It's
very innovative projects that are happening in Spain or have happened in partnership with you guys. I was just wondering how, as the EPC contractor, and when you go to bid, let's say, how open are you to technological innovations in terms of partnerships with technological innovations? Because I come from a telecom background, and I just feel that telecom is much more ahead. I think in the previous panel there was a gentleman talking about silicon chips and quality of those. I also feel that the water world actually could do with a lot of innovation, technology innovation in the data and digitalization of digital transformation, let's say, and application of AI in the O&M contracts, for example, and how you run the whole networks. I was wondering how open you guys are to those kinds of partnerships with innovative technological companies.
It was quite hard to listen, but if I understood, you are asking about how open we are to partnership for new technologies, no? Basically. Well, we are. I mean, as an operator, because we operate and we own many facilities, especially in Spain and in Europe, we have many under the European model of concession when you also own all the assets. Like we have recently in Georgia, we own all the Tbilisi water, even from the source on the dam until the meter. So as an operator, we are very interested to apply new technologies to reduce our cost and to deliver to the end user quality, good service, and also to try to minimize the cost of the water for the end user. Because at the end, reducing it, we will reduce our internal cost as well. So for sure, we are very interested.
Any other question from the audience? If not, I would like just to ask you to summarize. Maybe I will start with you, Ms. Adiba, just how you see the future with PPPs and maybe some recommendations and challenges.
The future of PPP is bright, I'm sure. I think we're going to see a lot of incredible, interesting projects, especially in MENA region, with the requirement of large-scale infrastructure that is in need and will be in need for many years now. I think PPP is the best concept, and yeah, it's just that. And again, I would advise the governments to invest into the capacity building, to make it as efficient to both sides, and to start engaging with the private partners, private developers as early as possible.
Excellent, thank you. Mr. Javier.
Well, maybe I will repeat what all said, or even myself, but
Yeah.
for sure, the PPP, yes, has a good future. I would not say bright, has a good future, but we need to be very careful to make those PPPs to grow from the day one in good direction. Because after, it's very hard to put it back on track. And there are many examples in the last years about that.
Yeah. Thank you. Engineer Faisal.
Yes, I believe there is a lot of opportunities for a very successful public-private partnership. Within our company, we have a lot of future projects coming, the mega projects. They are all in the desalination plant, sewage treatment plant, and the other facilities like the storage water reservoirs. Collaborations, normally I can see is the key word for all parties. The win-win case is always, this is what we are looking for, and thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Engineer Adel.
The PPP for me is not definitely a new concept. 200 years back, the Suez Canal was built under a PPP. All the railway across Europe were built under PPP. So there is no, it's not definitely a new thing. Now, if I come back to desalination, I would say, this is my personal thinking, I think the combination of power and desalination could be eventually something to explore.
Thank you, thank you. I'm fully agree with you all. I think collaboration, partnership, as you mentioned, the PPP is not something new. The privates, we are used to it. The consultant advisors are used to it. Unfortunately, there is in some areas, some countries that's still struggling, but there is a simple way to do it because it's something that has a very good experience in the past, using the right consultant, using the right advisors, listening to the private sector, and having a legal framework that's enabled to the success of PPPs. I think, as Ms. Adiba mentioned, we believe in PPPs, we believe in collaboration, in partnership, and hopefully the future will be bright. Thank you very much for you all, and thanks for the panelists.